The whisper in the dark. The night on the outpost was silent. Too silent. The human soldier named Marcus walked carefully along the cracked path, his boots pressing against broken stone. His flashlight cut through the fog, showing walls of ruined metal and the shadows of collapsed towers. The outpost had once been alive with soldiers, scientists and machines, but now it was only a graveyard of echoes. Marcus kept his rifle ready. His heart beat faster than he wanted to admit. He had survived battles before. He had fought against enemies stronger than him. But this silence was different. It felt alive, as if the night itself was watching him. The communication tower behind him gave a faint hum. One of the last working machines. Marcus knew the signal it sent was weak. Maybe Earth would hear it. Maybe not. Until then, he was alone. He walked past an archway covered in claw marks. His light touched the scars, and he felt a cold shiver. Those marks were not old. Something sharp had made them recently. The wind shifted, carrying a strange smell. It was sweet, almost like flowers, but mixed with something metallic. Marcus froze. His instincts told him he was not alone. Then he heard it, a soft whisper sliding through the dark. "Your flesh looks so soft, human." Marcus spun around, his rifle raised, his light cut across the broken corridor. For a moment, he thought it was only fog and stone. But then she stepped forward. The figure was tall, slender, her skin pale with a faint glow under the moonlight. Her eyes were a strange shade of gold, her teeth sharp like blades. She moved with a predator's grace. Every step quiet, controlled, deadly. Marcus gripped his weapon tighter. He had read about them, the carnivorous alien race, feared across the galaxy. They were hunters, flesh-eaters, the kind that spoke of humans not as equals, but as food. The girl tilted her head, studying him like he was a puzzle. Her long dark hair fell over one side of her face, hiding part of her expression. Her lips curled into something between a smile and a hunger-driven sneer. "You smell delicious," she whispered again, her voice soft like silk, but carrying danger in every word. "Your flesh must be so tender." Marcus felt his throat tighten. He had faced warships. He had faced beasts with claws larger than his arms. But this was different. This was personal. This was a predator standing so close that her breath brushed against his ear. He did not lower his rifle, but he also knew one wrong move could end him. He studied her carefully. She did not attack. Not yet. Instead, she walked slowly. Around him, her fingers brushing along the broken wall as if drawing circles in the air. "Why do you walk here alone, human?" she asked. "Do you not know this place belongs to the hunters? Do you not know you are prey?" Marcus stayed silent for a moment. He wanted to speak, but the words caught in his throat. Finally, he forced them out. "I am not prey," he said. Firmly, his voice steady. The alien girl laughed quietly, the sound cold but strangely human. All humans say that until they bleed. Her golden eyes locked onto his, searching, testing. Marcus realized she was not simply hungry. She was curious. Something inside her was holding back. She stepped closer, so close he could see the faint lines of scars on her. Wrists, scars of chains, scars of control. She was dangerous, yes, but she was not free. Marcus felt a strange pull inside him. Part of him wanted to run, part of him wanted to fight, but another part wanted to understand. Why had she not attacked? Why did she whisper instead of strike? The silence stretched, broken only by the distant howl of alien beasts somewhere in the ruins. Her clan, Marcus thought, they are close, and they will smell me soon. The girl leaned even closer, her lips near his ear. Her whisper was almost gentle. "Do you fear me, human? Or do you want to live?" Marcus felt the weight of her words. It was not just a question, it was a challenge. The kind that could decide whether he walked out alive or became nothing more than another story of human weakness. The fog around them thickened. The ruins seemed to close in. His finger tightened slightly on the trigger. His heart pounded louder than the silence. He looked into her golden eyes and realized one truth. This night was only the beginning. Asterisk, predator, or prisoner? Marcus stood frozen, the alien girl's whisper still echoing in his ears. Her golden eyes glowed faintly in the dark, not just hungry, but curious. She had the stance of a predator, yet she had not attacked. Something about her movements felt restrained, as if invisible chains still clung to her. The silence between them stretched, broken only by the faint crack of stone under Marcus's boots. He kept his rifle aimed. Though his hands trembled slightly, he could hear the faint pounding of his own heart. Louder than the ruins around him, the girl tilted her head again, studying him as though she were deciding something important. "You stand so firm," she whispered, her voice soft but edged with danger. "Most humans beg by now." "I don't." "Beg?" Marcus replied, forcing his voice to stay steady for a moment. The girl's lips curved upward, not quite a smile, more like a smirk of amusement, but then her gaze darkened. Her sharp nails brushed across the scarred wall beside her, leaving thin marks. The sound was enough to send a shiver up Marcus's spine. He could smell the same sweet metallic scent in the air again. Stronger now. It wasn't just her. It was coming from beyond the ruins. Her clan, Marcus realized. They were close. She stepped nearer, and the moonlight revealed the truth he hadn't noticed before. On her pale wrists were marks, deep grooves of healed wounds, scars that could only come from iron chains. She wasn't just a predator. She had been bound. "Who did this to you?" Marcus asked before he could stop himself. The girl's eyes flickered, her calm mask breaking for only a second. "That is not your concern, human," she said coldly. But Marcus caught the faint tremor in her voice. He lowered his rifle slightly, but didn't drop his guard. "You were a prisoner," he said, "weren't you?" Her silence was answer enough. Her golden eyes softened for a breath, then hardened again. She stepped closer until her shadow touched his boots. "Do you want to live, human?" she whispered. "Then you must follow me." "No," Marcus hesitated. Was this a trap? If he followed, she might lead him straight into the jaws of her clan. If he refused, he might be dead within minutes anyway. The ground shook suddenly, a deep tremor running through the ruins. From the distance came the sound of horns low, vibrating calls that echoed like thunder. Marcus knew what that meant. Hunters were near. The girl turned sharply, her hair whipping across her face. "They are calling," she said. "They already smell you." She reached out suddenly, her clawed hand brushing Marcus's arm. Not slashing, not tearing, just pulling, urging him. The touch was cold, but not violent. Marcus had a choice. He could trust the whisper of a predator who once confessed she longed for human flesh, or he could stand alone against an entire clan of carnivores. Every instinct screamed against it, yet he moved, following her into the darker tunnels of the ruins. The path twisted and narrowed, jagged walls pressing close. Their footsteps echoed softly. Behind them, the horns grew louder, closer. Marcus's grip on his rifle tightened. At last, they stopped in a chamber lit by faint alien firestones. Blue light flickered across broken machines and shattered glass. The girl turned to him, her expression unreadable. "You should know something." "Human," she whispered. Her voice was steady, but her golden eyes carried shadows. "My people want your kind for meat. They will never see you as anything more. But me." She hesitated. "I am not like them." Marcus raised his rifle slightly, suspicion burning through him. "Then what are you?" Her lips curled, but not in hunger this time, in defiance. "I was their prisoner, their weapon. They chained me, forced me to kill, but I broke free. Now they hunt me too." Her confession struck him like a blow. She wasn't just dangerous, she was hunted. A traitor to her own kind. Before Marcus could answer, a distant howl pierced the chamber. The beasts were unleashed. The girl stepped closer, her whisper urgent now. "Choose, human. If you trust me, we can run. If not, you will die here." Soft and tender, just as they wish. Her words chilled him, but her eyes, those scarred, haunted eyes, held something human within their alien glow. Marcus drew a deep breath. His finger brushed the trigger. His mind screamed with doubt, but his voice spoke firmly. "I'll follow you for now." The girl's golden eyes narrowed, and for the first time, Marcus thought he saw relief flicker across her face. Then the chamber shook with another horn. Closer than before, the hunt had begun, and Marcus was no longer sure if he was predator, prey, or ally to the strangest creature he had ever met. Asterisk. A dangerous pact the chamber shook as the sound of the horn faded into the ruins. Marcus gripped his rifle tight, every muscle ready to fight. Beside him, the alien girl's golden eyes glowed in the blue firelight. She was calm, too calm, like a predator that had already mapped the way out. Her voice was low. "They will be here soon. If you want to survive, you must stay close to me." Marcus didn't like the way she said it, as if she controlled his fate, but he knew the truth without her. He wouldn't last an hour against her clan. He kept his rifle raised, but gave a small nod. "Then lead the way." Her lips curved slightly. Not in hunger this time, but something sharper. So the prey chooses to trust the predator. Interesting. She moved forward, her bare feet making no sound on the broken floor. Marcus followed, every sense on high alert. The tunnels narrowed, walls glowing faintly with veins of alien stone. The silence between them was heavy, broken only by the distant growl of beasts and the echo of Hunter's steps after a long stretch. She stopped suddenly. Her hand shot out, pressing Marcus against the wall. He almost fired by reflex, but her sharp hiss froze him. Quiet. From the darkness ahead, two figures appeared, tall, armored, with pale skin and claws glinting under the firestones. Her clan. Marcus held his breath. The alien girl pressed close, her golden eyes locked on the hunters. For a tense moment, Marcus could feel her heartbeat against his arm. Steady but fast. The hunters sniffed the air, their voices carrying in harsh whispers. "The scent is here. The human is close." Marcus's grip on his rifle tightened, sweat rolling down his back. He was ready to fire, ready to break the silence. But before he could act, the girl leaned close, whispering against his ear, "Do not shoot. Follow my lead." She stepped out of the shadows, her voice shifting into a strange, commanding tone. "I caught the trail. The human ran this way." The hunters paused, their claws tapping against stone. "You?" One hissed, "We thought you were gone." Broken chains and empty cages do not speak well of loyalty. Her smile was cold, sharp. "Would I be here if I betrayed you?" She asked. "The human belongs to me. I will deliver him." Soft and tender. Marcus's blood ran cold. Her words were sharp enough to cut, but when she glanced back, her golden eyes flickered with something else. A warning. The hunters snarled, but moved on, disappearing down another path. The moment their footsteps faded, she grabbed Marcus's arm, pulling him deeper into the tunnels. "You lied to them?" Marcus muttered under his breath. "I saved your life," she whispered back. For now, they entered another chamber. Smaller, safer for the moment. Marcus finally lowered his rifle. Slightly, though his heart still raced. "Why?" He asked, "Why protect me? You said you were different, but you could have left me." Her golden eyes softened, just for a moment. Her voice dropped low. "Because I know what it means to be hunted, and because—" She hesitated, the words tasting heavy on her tongue. "Because you gave me food when you could have given me blood." Marcus remembered the ration pack he had offered earlier. It hadn't seemed much, but to her, it was more than food. It was proof that he saw her as something other than a monster. So now what? Marcus asked, his tone sharper than he meant. We run until they catch us? Her eyes flashed. No, we fight, but not like prey, together. Marcus almost laughed at the madness of it. A human soldier making a pact with a predator who once whispered about tasting his flesh, but deep inside, he knew it was the only chance. The girl extended her hand, claws sharp, skin pale in the firelight. My name is Solara, she said softly. If we are to survive, then our pact must be sealed. Human blood and predator's claws, one path. Marcus looked at her hand, then at his rifle. His training told him never to trust, never to lower his guard. But the fire in her golden eyes told another story. She was tired of chains, tired of being a weapon. Slowly, he reached out, gripping her clawed hand firmly. The pact was made. A sudden roar shattered the fragile silence. The walls trembled as beasts crashed into the tunnels. Solara's expression hardened. They are here, she whispered, and they will not stop. Marcus raised his rifle again, his heart steady now. For the first time since this nightmare began, he wasn't alone. The hunt begins. The roar echoed through the tunnels, shaking dust from the stone ceiling. Marcus's grip on his rifle tightened. Solara's claws flexed as her golden eyes flashed. The beasts were no longer far. They were here, released into the ruins. The ground rumbled as the sound of claws scraped against the stone. Heavy breathing, low growls, sharper and closer with every passing second. Marcus had fought monsters before. But this was different. He wasn't in a battlefield with comrades. He was in a maze of shadows, with a predator girl who was both ally and danger. Solara's voice was sharp and low. Stay close to me. The beasts do not hunt with eyes. They hunt with scent and sound. One mistake, and you are gone. Marcus nodded, his heart beating hard. He followed her as she slipped into a narrow corridor. Her steps made no noise. Her body moved like she was born in the dark. He tried to match her silence, though his boots scraped against stone with every shift. A deep growl stopped them cold. Ahead, the shadows bent and twisted. Then a creature stepped into view. Its body was massive, skin rough like stone. Its head shaped into a blunt skull with rows of teeth that dripped glowing saliva. Its nostrils flared, sniffing, finding them. Marcus steadied his rifle, aiming for its head. Solara's hand shot out, gripping the barrel. Not yet, she whispered. If you fire, the whole pack will come. The beast lowered itself, muscles tight, ready to spring. Marcus's finger twitched against the trigger. Solara stepped forward slowly, her claws raised. Her voice came out in a strange tone, low, vibrating, almost a growl. The beast hesitated, its glowing eyes fixed on her. It snarled, confused. Its instincts told it she was kin, but its orders told it to kill. Solara took another step forward, whispering in that strange tone, her eyes never leaving the beast. Then she moved like lightning. Her claws slashed across its throat. The creature's body shook, collapsing into the dust with a heavy thud. Marcus stared, shocked at the speed and strength she carried. Solara wiped her claws against the wall, her breathing steady. One down, she said coldly. But more are coming. The horns sounded again, louder, closer. The hunters were driving the beasts forward like hounds. The outpost ruins trembled with the weight of the chase. Solara grabbed Marcus's arm, pulling him toward a broken stairwell. Up, we need higher ground. They climbed, boots and claws scraping against the shattered metal steps. Marcus's muscles burned, his rifle heavy. Behind them, the growls and howls grew louder. At the top, they entered what had once been a command hall. Now it was nothing but broken glass and shattered consoles. The roof was half open, moonlight spilling across the ruins. Marcus positioned himself behind a collapsed beam, aiming his rifle at the dark entrance. Solara crouched low, her claws ready. The air smelled of rot and ash. Then came the pounding beasts rushing in, their roars shaking the chamber. 3 of them this time, snarling, drool falling in glowing streams to the floor. Their eyes burned with hunger as they spread out. Circling, Marcus fired. The shot cracked through the hall. One beast fell, its head snapping back. The other two roared, charging. Solara leapt forward, slashing at the first. Her claws cut deep, spraying dark blood across the floor. Marcus fired again, blasting into the second beast's chest. The chamber shook with chaos gunfire. Roars, claws against stone. Marcus's ears rang. His vision blurred from the smoke and blood. Solara moved like a shadow, her strikes clean, merciless. Together, they fought, back to back. The last beast fell, its body twitching before it stilled. Silence followed, broken only by their heavy breaths. Marcus lowered his rifle, sweat running down his face. Solara stood tall, her chest rising and falling, her golden eyes locked on him. "You fight well, for prey," she said softly. Marcus gave a tired half-smile. "You fight well, for a predator." Her lips twitched, almost a smile, but the moment didn't last. The horns sounded again, this time just outside. The hunters themselves were close. No more beasts, no more games. The clan was coming. Solara's eyes narrowed. They will not stop. They believe your death will prove their power, and they believe mine will erase their shame. Marcus loaded another magazine into his rifle, the click echoing in the chamber. His voice was firm. "Then we don't run anymore." Solara turned to him, her golden eyes sharp. For the first time, Marcus saw something new in her gaze. Not hunger, not cruelty, but resolve. "Then we fight," she whispered, her claws glinting. Under the moonlight, the sound of footsteps filled the hall. Shadows moved against the broken walls. The hunters were here. Asterisk. Trust in the shadows. The hunters' footsteps echoed through the broken hall. Sharp and steady, Marcus crouched behind the fallen beam, rifle aimed at the dark entrance. His pulse thundered in his ears. Solara crouched beside him, her claws gleaming faintly in the moonlight that slipped through the cracked roof. The air was thick, every shadow heavy with danger. Then the hunters appeared, tall and pale, their armor carved with cruel symbols. Their golden eyes scanned the room, their claws tapped against stone. Marcus fired first. The shot cracked through. The silence. One hunter stumbled back, wounded but not dead. The others hissed, spreading wide. Moving with predator's grace, Solara leapt into action. Her claws slashed across one hunter's chest, sparks flying as they tore through armor. The hall filled with chaos gunfire, snarls, and the ringing clash of claw against steel. Marcus fought hard, his rifle bucking against his shoulder. But he could feel the hunters pushing closer, faster, stronger. His strength alone wasn't enough. He knew it. Then it happened. A hunter struck him from the side. The blow sent Marcus crashing into a wall. His rifle skittered across the floor. His vision blurred. The hunter loomed above him, claws raised for the kill. But before they fell, Solara was there. She slammed into the hunter, her claws tearing across its throat. The body collapsed beside Marcus, dark blood pooling on the cracked floor. She turned quickly, crouching in front of him. Her golden eyes burned as she hissed at the remaining hunters. Her body shielded his without hesitation. Marcus stared, breathless. She was protecting him, not because she needed him as bait, not because it was strategy, but because she had chosen to. "You saved me," he muttered under his breath, almost. In disbelief, Solara's voice was sharp, but there was something else hidden within it. "Do not waste it, human. Get up." He pushed himself up, grabbing his rifle. Together they moved again, fighting side by side. Solara's claws ripped through armor. Marcus's bullets tore into their bodies. The hall became a storm of blood and smoke. When the last hunter fell, silence returned. Both of them stood in the ruins, breathing hard. Marcus leaned against the wall, sweat dripping down his face, his rifle heavy but steady. Solara stood in front of him, her claws dripping dark blood. Her chest rose and fell sharply. Her golden eyes locked on him. For a moment she did not speak. Then softly, almost like a secret, she whispered, "You are not like the others. Most humans scream, most humans beg, but you—" She tilted her head. "You fight as if your life belongs to something greater." Marcus gave a tired smirk. "And you fight like someone who doesn't want to be a monster anymore." Her eyes flickered, as if the words cut deep. She looked away, but not before he saw the truth in her expression. The silence between them grew heavy. Not the silence of fear, but something different. A fragile thread of trust forming in the shadows of the broken hall. Then the ground shook again. A distant roar rolled through the tunnels, deeper, heavier than the beasts they had faced before. Solara stiffened, her claws curling tight. "That sound," she whispered, her voice trembling for the first time. "It is not just the hunters. They brought a war beast." Marcus's grip tightened on his rifle. He had heard of war beasts in military reports, giant living weapons bred only for destruction. Entire squads had been wiped out by one, and now it was here. Solara stepped closer, her face inches from his, her golden eyes fierce. "If we fight it as we are, we die. If we run, we die. There is only one way left, human." Marcus met her gaze. "And what way is that?" Her whisper was sharp, filled with both fear and fire. "We trust each other completely. No lies, no half measures. Your rifle and my claws is one." Marcus swallowed hard. He had trusted soldiers. He had trusted commanders. But trusting a predator who once whispered about eating his flesh, that was madness. Yet here he stood, alive only because she had chosen to shield him. Slowly he nodded. "Then we fight together, no matter what." Solara's lips curved faintly. Not hunger this time, not cruelty, but something almost human. "Then we may live." The roar came again, shaking the walls. Dust fell from the ceiling. The war beast was close, its shadow already crawling along the broken walls. Marcus raised his rifle. Solara raised her claws. Back to back once again, this time not as predator and prey, but as allies bound by survival. The hunt was no longer about one human, or one alien girl. It had become something far greater. And the galaxy, though it didn't know it yet, was about to change. The last confrontation. The roar shook the ruined hall like thunder. Marcus steadied himself, his rifle raised. Solara crouched low beside him, her claws glinting under the faint moonlight. The sound was heavier now, closer, shaking the ground with each step. Then the war beast appeared. It was massive, its body covered in thick armored scales. Its eyes glowed with a burning red light. Its jaws split wide, lined with teeth. Long as knives, saliva dripped to the floor, sizzling where it landed. The hunters followed behind it, their cruel laughter echoing in the chamber. Marcus had seen horrors in battle, but this was worse. This was not an enemy to outshoot. It was a monster built to tear armies apart. Solara's golden eyes narrowed. Her body trembled, but not with fear, with fury. "They brought it for me," she whispered. "They want to bury my betrayal in blood." The hunters spread out, their voices taunting. "The human will fall first, his flesh soft, his bones weak. Then you, Solara, and the clan will forget your shame." Marcus fired. The rifle cracked, the bullet slamming into the war beast's head. It bounced off, leaving only a shallow mark. The beast roared and charged, the ground breaking under its weight. Solara grabbed Marcus, pulling him aside as the beast smashed through the wall, stone and dust exploding into the air. Marcus coughed, firing again and again. Each shot sparked against its scales. Useless. Solara darted forward, her claws slicing across its leg. Sparks flew, but the beast barely slowed. Its tail whipped around, striking her with crushing force. She slammed into the floor, gasping in pain. "Solara!" Marcus shouted, rushing to her side. The hunters laughed louder, circling like vultures. But Solara rose, blood dripping down her arm. Her golden eyes burned. "Do not look at me, human. Look at the beast. That is our enemy, not me." Marcus nodded, his chest heavy. He steadied his rifle again. "Then tell me how to kill it." Her voice came sharp, urgent. "The scales are too strong, but its mouth, its throat, that is where it is weak." The war beast roared again, shaking the ceiling. Its glowing eyes locked onto Marcus. Its jaws split wide as it lunged forward. Marcus fired straight into its mouth. The bullet tore flesh. The beast screamed. Solara leapt onto its back, her claws plunging deep between the gaps of its armor. Dark blood sprayed, coating her hands. The beast thrashed wildly, slamming against the walls. Marcus kept firing, each shot digging deeper into its throat. Solara screamed, not in pain but in fury, her claws ripping, tearing, refusing to let go. The hunters moved to strike. Marcus turned his rifle on them, dropping one with a clean shot. Another charged, claws raised. Marcus swung his weapon like a club, smashing it across the hunter's skull. The fight was madness, blood, fire, and chaos filling the ruins. Solara finally ripped free a chunk of the beast's armored hide. Its roar shook the sky itself. Marcus saw the exposed flesh, raw and glowing under its scales. He fired again, and again, bullets tearing into the weak spot. The war beast staggered, its massive body shaking. Solara leapt from its back, landing beside Marcus. Her chest heaved, blood streaking her pale skin. Her claws dripped with dark ichor. For a moment, the hall went silent. Then the beast collapsed with a thunderous crash. The floor trembled as dust rose around its body. The hunters froze, staring in disbelief. Their war beast, their living weapon, was dead. Marcus raised his rifle toward them. Solara's golden eyes glowed with fire. Together, they stepped forward. The hunters hissed, but fear flickered in their eyes. Their leader snarled, "You have betrayed your blood, Solara. You will die with him." Solara's voice was sharp, her whisper cutting like steel. "No, I will live with him." They struck as one. Marcus's rifle blasting through armor, Solara's claws slashing through flesh. The hunters fell one by one, their bodies scattered across the ruins. At last, only silence remained. Marcus lowered his rifle slowly. His arms ached, his body burned. He glanced at Solara, who stood tall despite her wounds, her golden eyes still sharp. For the first time, Marcus realized she wasn't just a predator or a prisoner. She was something else, something caught between worlds. And now, she had chosen him. Solara turned, her voice soft but steady. "It is over for now, but the clan will not forget. And neither will the galaxy." Marcus nodded, his voice rough but firm. "Then let them come." She looked at him for a long moment, and whispered the words that had started it all, though their meaning was different now. "Your flesh looks so soft, human." Her golden eyes softened. "But I will not let them take it." Asterisk. The choice that changes everything. The ruins lay in silence. The war beast's massive body stretched across the hall like a mountain of flesh and broken armor. The air smelled of smoke, blood, and stone dust. Marcus stood still, his rifle heavy. In his hands, his chest rose and fell slowly, each breath carrying the weight of survival. Solara stood across from him, her claws dripping dark blood. Her golden eyes glowed faintly, but there was no hunger left in them. Only fire, and something Marcus had never thought he would see in a predator's eyes. Trust. The last hunter's body twitched before going still. Their leader's golden eyes dimmed, silence swallowing the echo of his last words. For the first time, Marcus realized he and Solara were the only ones alive. The outpost was quiet, but the night was not safe. Beyond the ruins, across the broken hills, the rest of Solara's clan would already know the death of their hunters, the fall of their war beast, the betrayal of one of their own. It would spread like fire. Marcus slumped against the broken wall, sliding down till he sat on the cracked floor. His rifle rested across his knees. His arms trembled with exhaustion. He had survived battles before, but never like this. Never with an enemy who had stood at his side instead of across from him. Solara stepped closer, crouching down in front of him. Her claws retracted slowly. Her pale hands no longer looked like weapons, but like hands that had once been chained. She tilted her head, her golden eyes searching his face. "You should fear me," she whispered, her voice soft. "I told you. Your flesh was soft. I told you it was mine to taste." Her lips curled faintly, but the expression held no cruelty now, only sorrow. "But I lied, human, not to trick you, but to test myself. I wanted to know if I was still a monster." Marcus lifted his gaze, his voice rough. "And what did you find out?" Her golden eyes flickered in the pale light. "That I am something else, something my clan will never understand. I do not want your flesh. I want—" She stopped, the words trembling. To protect it, for a long moment, silence hung. Heavy between them, Marcus's heart pounded in his chest, not from fear this time, but from something he couldn't name. He finally nodded, his voice steady. "Then stay with me, Solara. Don't go back to them. Come with me." Her breath caught. Her claws flexed slightly. Her body shook as if torn in two. "If I choose you, human, I will be hunted forever. My name will be cursed, my bloodline erased. I will never belong again." Marcus leaned forward, his eyes steady on hers. "Then belong here with me, with humanity we don't care about. Your bloodline, we care about what you do, who you choose to be." Her golden eyes widened. The words struck her deeper than any blade. She had lived her whole life as prey to chains or predator to others, but never free to choose. Now, Marcus was giving her that choice. From the distance came the sound of horns again, faint but growing. The clan was not done. They were coming. Solara turned her head, listening, her jaw clenched. For a moment, Marcus thought she would leave, vanish back into the night, and return to her kind. But then she stepped closer, her face inches from his. Her whisper was steady, filled with fire. Then, "I choose you, human." Marcus felt the weight of her words. Not just a promise, but a vow. He pushed himself to his feet, gripping his rifle tighter. Solara stood beside him, her claws flexing. For the first time, they were not predator and prey. They were something else entirely, something the galaxy had never seen. The horns grew louder, echoing across the ruins. Shadows moved in the distance. An army rising. Marcus glanced at Solara. "They'll come for us." Her golden eyes glowed. "Let them. Tonight they will learn what it means when prey and predator fight as one." Together, they stepped out of the broken hall. The moonlight shining down on the ruins, the war beast's corpse behind them, the future ahead uncertain. Solara's voice came one last time, softer now, not a threat, not a hunger, but a promise. "Your flesh looks so soft, human. But no, one will touch it as long as I live." Marcus gave a small, tired smile. "Then we fight together." The night trembled with the sound of horns and marching feet. The galaxy did not know it yet, but everything had just changed asterisk.